What's up, guys, and thanks for tuning in to the very first episode of my Sisters SyFy, where I read short fiction and sci-fi stories from grassroots authors just like you. Today's episode features a story from my sister, Sierra Stewart, who is a very talented author. She's actually the reason I started this podcast. She has a way of telling the story and painting a picture to make you feel as if you're inside of it, so hopefully I do it justice. Today's story deals with time hopping and dimension shifting. So before I forget, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and rate if you enjoyed the story. Without further ado, here's Strangeness.
Ms. Nari, we're going to get caught or worse, punished. I do not know how many times I've said that throughout my friendship with Ms. Nari. He was always so different from the rest of the boys in the neighborhood. In a way, I guess, I was a little different too, since we were friends. The neighborhood boys were always some kind of pranksters and would always pull pranks on only Ms. Nari and me. You could say we were the more awkward kids in the neighborhood. Ms. Nari would pedal his bike as fast as he could down the street to my house, flying off at the last second, throwing his bike to the ground, running to my front door, knocking like he had news straight from the president's mouth told to him personally. My mother always had an attitude with him. His bike handles, when thrown to the lawn, would dig holes into her grass. Ms. Nari never paid attention to her attitudes, not intentionally. He never was good at social cues. Never really knew when someone was upset with him. He was always too busy plotting our next exploration. Ms. Nari's latest project was drawing a map of the entire woods property that we live next to. Today we are to explore Sector 3, Dark Trees, whatever that means. I was just always along for the adventures. Arriving at the woods, we head in. We walk past the discovered sectors of 1 and 2. Sector 3 will be the farthest we've explored into the woods. Uneasy about exploring so far, I started to feel nervous. What if we get in trouble? Ms. Nari, I do not think we should be going this far out. Completely disregarding what I had said, Ms. Nari just pushed through, charting his map. We had made it to the middle of Sector 3. There had been an ominous silence for quite some time now, but it was worse here. It's like that part of the woods had been the only area of the world moving. Like we were the only two people in the world. Ms. Nari, too busy in his head, felt none of this. Stopping to take a breath, which I needed. Ms. Nari always forgot I had asthma. Standing there in a defeated silence taking a breath, suddenly I find that I can't move. I can't speak. Am I even breathing? I was so stiff, frozen, like no muscles in my body were able to move, not even my eyes. My eyes pointed towards the sky. I see the sun, clouds, and dark trees. The silence was broken by a screeching sound. My eardrums could not handle it. Suddenly, the screeching was gone. It had turned into raspy breathing that stood behind my stiff body. The hairs on the back of my neck stood tall. Just as fast as the presence was there, it was gone. I find myself standing behind Ms. Nari. He is standing in disbelief at what he is gazing upon. It is a creature of some sort, nothing I've ever seen before. The creature seems helpless in an infant form of its lifespan. The creature had 4 legs and a tail of a lizard. Only it had dull spikes towards the end of its tail. It had no eyes, only 2 holes. I guess that was its nose. It was black and slimy, like when the neighborhood boys would egg us and we would be slimy and sticky. Mishnari motions his hand to touch the creature. I grab his arm. No, Mishnari, don't touch it. He looks to me and says in a monotone voice with an unreadable face, I have to. I had never seen Mishnari so strange before. If I had not been scared before, I was now. Forcing my hand off his arm with strength that did not match his physique, he touches the creature. Just as he touches the creature, it runs off into the bushes. Standing up from the ground, Mishnari starts to walk home, leaving all of his things. His flashlight, his lucky pencil, his crayons, his map. The map he worked so hard on for over a month now. I stand in shock watching him walk away strangely. He did not sway his arms in his normal dorky way. Instead, they lay along the side of his body somewhat stiff. His body held a strange straight posture while walking. Only his legs moved as if he were a robot. I go to grab him and ask what's wrong. Suddenly grabbing my arm with the same strength he had before, he looks at me in the face with the same unreadable look. All of a sudden, his grip on my arm weakens, and he looks at me with his normal studying face asking me what is wrong. Where his map was. As if he had no recollection of what just occurred. Beginning from me standing behind him, I had no clue how I had ended up behind him. I just stopped to take a couple of puffs of my inhaler. That's all I remember. Mishnari collected his map, and we started to head home. It had been dark by then. We were definitely in trouble. We parted ways. I was scared to walk in the house. I knew my mother would have my butt for coming home after the streetlights had been on. I walk in to see my mother standing angry towards me. The next morning I wake up with a sore bottom and puffy eyes, wondering if Mishnari had the same feeling himself. We shouldn't have stayed out so long last night. 10 o'clock in the morning, Mishnari was usually at my house by then, especially to tell me about how his mother punished him. I head out for the day towards Mishnari's house, standing on my bike with the kickstand in a respectable way and using the pathway to make it to his front door. I knock a couple of times and wait. His mother answered the door. I ask, "Is Mishnari home?" She responded, "Who?" I replied, "Mishnari, your son, my best friend." She laughs, as if she is genuinely amused. "I have no kids. What are you talking about? I think you have the wrong house." I had a confused look on my face as she shut the door. The mother of my best friend, saying she has no son or any kids at all? Has she been drinking again? I'll just wait for Mishnari to come to my house. I ride home, putting away my bike. I ask my mother to let me know when Mishnari comes over. What she says next stops me dead in my tracks. "Who is Mishnari?" I said, "My best friend, Mom." "Oh, sweetheart, are you feeling well? Your best friend is Tommy Johnson." I reply furious. "Tommy Johnson? The boy who bullies me? Plays cruel pranks on me? No, Mom, that is no friend of mine." She replied, "Sweetheart, you must not be feeling well. You should go lay down." My mother had been no drinker like Mishnari's mom. She must need sleep or something. I run into my dad and I ask him to let me know when Mishnari comes over. He replies, "Who is Mishnari? That's an odd name for a fella." I stand in even more confusion than before, replying, "Nothing." I head to my room. How could nobody know who Mishnari was? We have been best friends since we were babies. My mother has a photo of us in the tub together as toddlers sitting on the mantel. That's it. The photo. They will remember him that way. I run downstairs to receive the photo, only to see that it's not Mishnari. It's Tommy Johnson. Throwing the picture against the wall, it breaks glass. I can't breathe. Where's my inhaler? Where's Mishnari? Where is he? Knocking down all the pictures on the mantel, they shatter on the cherry hardwood floors. I kick the coffee table, pushing it against the couch. "Where is Mishnari? He is my best friend. He is my brother. Where is he?" "Caleb!" My mother calls out to me. "Caleb, stop! What are you doing?" She sees that I have broken her pictures, her face filling with rage. "My pictures! What have you done?" She grabs my arm, ready to spank me. I pull back so hard she loses her grip and I hit my head on the fireplace. I wake up in my bed. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. "Caleb!" my mother calls out. "Mishnari's at the door." My eyes go as wide as they can as I jump out of the bed and run downstairs to the front door where my best friend stands. I open the door to see Mishnari with a map in his hand, ready to explore, his bike behind him with the handlebar digging in the lawn. "Hey, Caleb, are you ready to explore Sector 3 today? I think I'm going to label it Dark Trees."